Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Leslie with the New Mexico Small Business Development Center, and I'm here just to introduce everyone to Dr. Marvin Lozano. He is going to be giving us some great information on accessing money from banks, alternative lenders, and SBA for your small business while surviving COVID and beyond. Also, the neat thing about his presentation is that he's going to be presenting it in English and Spanish. If you have any questions, please type it in the Q&A and we'll pick them up throughout the entire webinar. I also want to remind all New Mexico small businesses that the New Mexico Small Business Development Center strongly encourages all New Mexico businesses to learn about cybersecurity risk and make sure they are taking action to protect their data, especially from ransomware. We have a YouTube channel where we have pre-recorded on-demand videos on this topic. With all that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Marvin Lozano.
Thank you, Leslie. Good morning to you folks who are with us this morning, and those of you that may be joining us later via YouTube or some other way. I wanted to just welcome you this morning to a topic that we feel is very timely during this COVID-19 pandemic that continues to put barriers up for small businesses in a variety of ways. But the topic today will be accessing money from banks, alternative lenders, and SBA for your small business, so that it helps you survive COVID, and actually so you can be prepared after COVID is done, as you continue to grow your business or start your business. So I do this bilingually to be inclusive, and so I will do it in both languages. All right, so now I'm doing it in Spanish. Acceso a dinero de los bancos, prestamistas alternativos y SBA para pequeñas empresas, mientras sobrevivo COVID-19. Mejor dicho, mientras ustedes, si están empezando su empresa o si están creciendo su negocio, ¿cómo pueden tener acceso a dinero de los bancos? Siempre se va a necesitar, especialmente durante este tiempo de COVID-19. Si sea con bancos, si sea con prestamistas alternativos, y voy a explicar un poco de eso durante este tiempo que tenemos, o que sea con SBA, la agencia federal, acerca de los programas que tienen. ¿Ok? Vamos a seguir. Next. Well, I'll do this in English and then in Spanish. Just a little bit of information on who I am and what brings me here this morning, and that is that I have been working with small businesses for many, many years, originally out of college, business college at ASU. I went to work for a small bank, and then to a larger bank doing small business lending. We call it commercial banking or commercial lending. So I'm very familiar with that side of the lending area. I've also owned my own business, which is something I find very challenging, as all of you know, whether you're looking to start or expand your business. You certainly will have those experiences. I also teach at a very large community college in New Mexico and have taught at several universities here in New Mexico. And I hope to share some information more currently with you, where I work as a consultant in New Mexico, helping small businesses access capital, right? So I'll do this in Spanish now. Entonces, yo soy el doctor Lozano, y entonces tengo entrenamiento estudié negocios en Arizona State University. Una maestría la tomé en el University of Arizona y la doctorado aquí en el University of New Mexico, o la Universidad de Nuevo México, ¿no? Y entonces, aparte de eso, ha tenido mi propio negocio. Sé los problemas que encuentran ustedes en creciendo su negocio, tratando de accesar los fondos que necesitan con bancos, ¿no? Con agencias que hacen préstamos, y por eso estoy ayudándoles. Y para eso estoy aquí. ¿Ok? Next. So the overall vision is because we felt in putting this workshop together that there was a need for you folks to know something beyond that you can go online and fill an application for a loan out if and when you need to. Because during pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, we know there are a variety of loans that are accessible through the CARES Act, through SBA, through the state of New Mexico. And so I wanted to focus on how you can best prepare yourself so that when you fill that application, you have your best chance of getting funds that you need. So there's some real important techniques I'll share with you as a former banker and as someone who understands how money is underwritten on how you can access what you need. Okay. En español, la visión general es para ayudarles a ustedes a entender cómo analizan los préstamos que se piden de cuando un emprendedor o alguien que ya tiene su negocio necesita fondos. Entonces, ¿qué es la manera de presentarse? Es más de llenar una solicitud o aplicación. Es presentarse en forma que le pueden enseñar al funcionario, mira, ya analicé lo que quiero hacer y tengo información para que me den lo que yo necesito, sea que una beca o sea préstamo. ¿Ok? Ahí seguimos. Next. Okay, well, we'll go past this one since we basically will get into some of this material later. But the objective, again, I've covered is to assist you folks. That's what the SBDs in New Mexico are here. That's why I'm here, is to give you some basic skills that you may not have been aware of that are necessary to be able to access those funds that are out there. And how do you do it? There are certain skills that will help you get what you need. Los objetivos de entrenamiento son para asistir ustedes como ir y conseguir los fondos necesitan, ¿ok? Yo soy consultor también. Como a las 2 de este día voy a presentarme, a juntarme, mejor dicho, con un señor que tiene un negocio aquí en Nuevo México y voy a asistirle porque está cerrando un préstamo para empezar otro centro de cuidado de niños. Ya tiene uno, pero quiero abrir otro. Entonces, los objetivos de entrenamiento son importantes, ¿no? Para decirles eso. Next. Okay, so there's 3 parts to this. I wanted to keep it concise, I wanted to keep it clear, and I wanted to keep it basic enough so that you go away from this workshop having felt you learned some skills that are important to you. And so they're basically 3. I'll share information on how you can access capital for your business, whether you are starting up. Right now, you may be thinking of starting up and you're going to need money. So how do you go about doing that? The other part is if you have an existing business and you're looking to expand it. I was sharing in Spanish that as another example, I'm working with an individual who's opening his 3rd franchise in New Mexico, and I'm helping consult with a lender on that because he is prepared to go forward under his franchise agreement. He needs to open 4 within a certain number of years, so this would be a 3rd one. So I sat down and explained to him, this is what you need to do to access your loan, to get the loan funds you need for your 3rd one. Okay, and these things I'll be sharing with you are the same things I went over with him. Okay, so they're important. The second area, entonces, I'll say this in Spanish again. The first one is acceso a capital. Okay, el segundo es la sostenibilidad del negocio, el crecimiento y cómo pueden seguir creciendo. Okay, resiliencia. So this will be a business sustainability, growth, and resilience. That's the second theme, if you will, in this presentation, because we think in thinking this through and preparing this workshop, we, mean the folks that I've talked with that are involved in making business loans throughout New Mexico, that what they want to know is, can you sustain this business that you have, especially during COVID-19? Can you grow it, and are you resilient enough to survive? Okay, there are many things that are occurring right now. We know this new Delta virus is impacting not just small businesses, but folks that aren't in business, of course, but it all has a bearing on how we're able to grow, to sustain, grow, and just hang in there, okay? Entonces, el número 2 aquí es cómo van a sostener su negocio. ¿Van a crecer? ¿Van a seguir trabajando? Resiliencia, ¿no? Porque mucha gente lo que pasa es que no se dan cuenta que cuando van y piden dinero, que quieren un préstamo, vamos a decir, que le tienen que explicar a la gente que van a analizar y van a aprobar su crédito para fondos, que tienen que enseñarle usted a ellos que pueden sostener su negocio. ¿Ok? Entonces prepárense para discutir eso con ellos. ¿Cómo lo van a sostener? ¿Cómo lo van a crecer? ¿Y cómo va a seguir su negocio después de los fondos que reciben? ¿Ok? So that's the second one in Spanish. I'll do the third one in English and then back to Spanish. The third one is, how do I apply for financial resources? And under this area, though, it'll take a little bit of a turn to who are the folks that I apply to for financial resource. And basically, we're focusing on those that are the common lenders for small business, whether you're starting or growing. So clearly, commercial banks have business loan programs. Clearly, the alternative lenders, which you can Google and find out who they are in New Mexico, they've got more flexibility. They are legitimate organizations. They're not profits that model themselves very much like banks. In fact, many of their lenders are former bankers that feel now they have more latitude to help businesses. That's why they are now working for alternative lenders. Okay, they're out there. So Google them and find out so you can make an informed choice. And then the third one would be, of course, the SBA, and we'll talk about some of the programs they have and how you can go about accessing. En español aquí es para solicitar los recursos financieros. Vamos a decir que ustedes tienen opciones. Pueden presentarse con un banco, ojalá que ya tienen una cuenta de cheques, porque si ya tienen cuenta de cheques es nada más de decirles, mira, yo soy cliente, me pueden ayudar con un préstamo, quiero empezar un negocio, o quiero crecer mi negocio. ¿Okay? Entonces, aparte de eso, vamos a hablar también de los credit unions, que ellos existen también, muy similar en estos días con los bancos, hablando de los que hacen préstamos, los alternativos, agencias alternativas existen, nada más hacerlos Google y el SBA, ¿ok? De eso vamos a hablar. Next. Next, thank you. Okay, so basically, as we begin this, I want to give you some skills that all lenders that, whether they're in any of those organizations I shared with you prior to this slide, they have an understanding of basic concepts to access capital, and they use them when they analyze your request, when they analyze somebody else's business request. These are business requests. So I want to show you a basic model, if you will, so you can use that to your benefit. You can, in fact, prepare to access what you need using the same sort of criteria that they're going to use when they evaluate. Okay, so en español estos son conceptos básicos de acceso a capital, porque les quiero presentar unos puntos que utilizan los que hacen préstamos, en que sea bancos, credit unions, que sean prestamistas alternativos o SBA. Todos tienen entrenamiento, los funcionarios, o cómo analizar lo que está pidiendo usted. Entonces, en forma de préstamo, ¿no? Entonces, les voy a enseñar unos puntos o cómo se pueden preparar bien. Okay. Next, Leslie. Okay, so we'll do this in English, then come to Spanish. As you can see below the Spanish 4 points, there are 4 in English. So they're the same thing, just in a different language. But basically, first is credit. What I'd like you to do here is reflect and possibly order a free credit bureau. You can go online and order one so you can check to see what status your credit is. sometimes what happens is we find that that folks aren't aware that somebody else has used their credit to get something. You want to make sure you check, okay? If you have some dings on there because maybe you had some medical issues, your family, maybe someone got sick during COVID and you know, it puts your payments behind. I've worked with businesses in New Mexico during this pandemic. In fact, I'm working with one, consulting with one with an alternative lender where the individual is the truck driver for a trucking business. It's a sole proprietor, but he got sick during this pandemic, and now it's affected his relationship with his lenders. And so my recommendation to him was let them know that you're ill so they can, the lenders have options. They can revise your loan, they can modify your loan, and they will work with you if you're upfront and help tell them what the situation is. The second thing I'll talk about is cash flow. And that sometimes is a little intimidating to folks because they don't quite understand what that means. But I'll try to provide a simple version of basically what you want to do is have some sort of projection about what the revenues will be, the expenses will be if you're a startup. What will they be for a minimum of 6 months? And I'll be showing you a template on how you can do that a little bit later. You also should be able to understand what your collateral is. In other words, it's very basic to any time that a lender is going to provide you funds, they're trying to assess what kind of risk is involved in providing those funds out to you and your business. And so they want to analyze the things I spoke of in 1 and 2, but also what they want to do is they want to look at what kind of collateral is being offered. So it may be that you think this through beforehand, and what you do is you say, you know, I either have a car that's paid for, I have a title here, I have a piece of equipment, I have a building, but be thinking ahead. What are you going to offer? Sometimes my students, when I was teaching entrepreneurship, would say, what about sweat equity? Does that count? And I sort of think to myself, you know, it is a question that you would think make sense. But no, we're looking at hard assets here. It's what kind of hard assets are you providing in exchange for funding? Okay? And then the conditions. Okay, so this is the fourth things: credit, cash flow, collateral, conditions. And here, the way I want you to think of conditions is think of during this COVID pandemic, how has it impacted the type of businesses that you are also wanting to be a part of? For example, if you are opening a restaurant, or if you have a restaurant, how have restaurants been affected? Well, we know that they've been limited for occupancy through much of the pandemic. And so most recently, they've been allowed to allow more customers in. So those are conditions you want to share because they may have impacted number 2, which is cash flow. All right, so these 4 things work together. En español son 4 cosas que quiero que piensen de forma antes de presentarse con un funcionario a pedirles que un fondo para su negocio. Número 1 es cómo está su crédito. Quiero que lo piensen bien. Pueden ordenar su crédito personal online y pueden revisarlo a ver si alguien usó su crédito. No es raro que alguien, es posible, no digo que con ustedes, pero han aprovechado del buen crédito de una persona. Entonces, revíselo bien. Y número 2, el flujo de efectivo. ¿Qué flujo de efectivo tiene usted en su negocio? Si ya existe el negocio, pues use los números de las ventas que ha tenido en el año pasado, o en los 2 años pasados. Tiene mucho poder eso, porque ya tiene usted ya tiene sus ventas, puede enseñar qué fueron las ventas, qué fueron los gastos y puedan analizar todo bien. El problema es cuando no tiene eso porque está empezando. Entonces, cuando está empezando el negocio, como emprendedor nuevo, tiene que proyectar al mínimo 6 meses. Y ahorita les voy a enseñar lo que va a incluir cuando va a proyectar su flujo efectivo. ¿Ok? En breve, garantía es nada más de qué va a poner usted en cambio de su crédito. ¿Ok? Si usted pide 500,000, si pide, vamos a decir menos, 25,000, vamos a decir más, 75,000, lo que sea. Necesita poner una forma de garantía, ofrecérselo a funcionarios para que sepan que usted está en serio en pagar el préstamo que pide y por eso se lo va a ofrecer. ¿Ok? Aparte que ellos van a requerir muchas veces para hacer un préstamo. Y las condiciones es nada más de también tener en forma de condiciones, explicarles, mira, me ha afectado COVID-19 durante este tiempo, me ha afectado y hay problemas que sentí en mi negocio en forma de ventas, en forma de gastos. O si no, les diles también, mira, no, yo seguí bien. Yo sé que hablé con un emprendedor que tiene ya tiene unos años, un centro de cuidar de niños, y me explicó, yo le pregunté, ¿le afectó COVID-19 a su centro de cuidar de niños el año pasado? Porque estuvo muy difícil, ¿no? Para muchos negocios. Y ella me dijo a mí, ¿sabes qué? A nosotros no nos afectó negativo porque los padres que nos traen los niños, pues tienen que ir a trabajar. Y muchos de ellos trabajan en negocios o con grupos, organizaciones que requieren que estén ellos para trabajar. Entonces, su centro de cuidado de niños estuvo lleno y le fueron muy bien con las ganancias y pagó todos sus pagos, ¿ok? Entonces, número 4, depende de las condiciones en qué le afectó a su negocio durante COVID-19, ¿ok? Next. Okay, so in English, here's what I suggest you do as you go forward in this idea of preparing yourself as you go to an underwriter, whether it's a bank, a credit union, alternative lender, or the SBA. This is very straightforward. It doesn't have to be fancy. Take out a pencil or a pen, and of course a blank sheet of paper like I'm showing you, and label it at the top, pre-startup estimate. And then start going across that with these bullets I'm showing you. Do you have cash on hand? If so, indicate the amount. If you have loans or lines of credit, indicate what they are. Okay, indicate what they are. If you have other cash coming in. The idea here is you want to put what's called a pre-startup of what your situation is. It's kind of like in business when we refer to a balance sheet. The balance sheet is typically, I remember an instructor, a professor of mine said, think of it as if someone goes in and takes a picture of your business assets and liabilities today, let's say. Then today, this is what it looks like. Here, what you're doing is picking a date, and it would be a date before you start your business, right? And this is what you're going to do. It gives the folks that are looking to provide you funding, and by the way, you should know this anyway. It's good for you to know where you stand, what your average balances are in your bank or credit union, right? In your checking account. You should, for your benefit, use that information to help you. And also, what are the balances on your loan? What are the balances on your line of credit? Is it fully extended? Is it got a zero balance on it? This indicates to lenders many things. They see that you are either using it wisely, the loans and the lines of credit, or you're extending them completely and not paying them down. In the case of a line of credit, that's not a good thing when a lender sees that someone borrows on funds very similar to a credit card, and then they don't pay it down while it's outstanding. Okay, so this is what you want to do here. Make sure you provide this. En español es antes de iniciar su negocio, hay que preparar en un blanco, ¿no? Un pedazo de papel, una página en blanco, ponga estimación antes de iniciar. Y luego abajo ponga dinero disponible a la mano. Si tiene usted dinero en su cuenta de cheques, este es el tiempo de indicar cuánto tiene, okay, en la cuenta de cheques. Si tiene préstamo o línea de crédito, aquí pone los saldos, pone lo que tiene ahorita de saldo. Y también si tiene otro dinero, lo pone aquí también. Otro dinero, vamos a decir que un tío, una tía, otra persona de la familia le está ayudando y le ofreció fondos. Y usted dijo, bueno, pues yo se los pago después, ¿no? Y aquí puede enseñar, es como poner un foto de cómo se ve su negocio antes de empezar, antes de iniciar, ¿ok? Y poner total. Es bueno presentar esto, ¿ok? Next. Okay, so here the idea is cash paid out. And here what we were trying to do is just like you do a sheet of paper, remember, that you're showing prior to the startup, that sheet of paper I was showing before. I'm saying, I don't know how showing this here. Here we go. Where in the prior slide, you're putting balances that you have in your checking account, right? You're putting loans you have outstanding of any type and you're totaling them. The next piece of paper would be you showing what you've been already paid out. Okay, and what have you been paid out? You know, have you already invested in your business? What are the purchases? You want to put in the balance here of what those purchases are that you have as of the date that you prepare this cash paid out sheet of paper. Okay. Also, what are the capital purchases? Did you go out and you bought a truck or a vehicle for your business? Did you go buy a cell phone? Did you go buy whatever you bought, a piece of equipment? Here's where you put the value. Okay. So supplies during COVID, cleaning supplies are very important to some businesses that have a lot of customer contact. So here you also put that line and so on and so forth. The idea is, what have you paid out already? It shows that you've done what? You've invested in your business. You're a sole proprietor. You are the business, right? And so you are the business, and maybe that's in your name. There's other ways, there's forms of business. We don't talk about them in this workshop, but just briefly, since I brought up the idea, if you're a sole proprietor, you and the business are one and the same. It may also be, if you choose to form what's called the limited liability company, an LLC, where you are the managing member and it's a sole member, sole proprietor. You may open this because it protects you from liability. Another workshop, right? And then you may incorporate. It depends what you do. But here, the intent is for you to present a picture of what you've already spent or invested in the business, okay? Ok, en español, efectivo pagar aquí en la segunda página, como antes lo que les enseñé, están enseñando qué son, ¿se acuerdan? Estaban poniendo qué son los balances en la cuenta de cheques en el banco. No aquí, pero anteriormente, en la primera página. Y luego iba a poner también los saldos en cuentas, si ya tiene préstamo, línea de crédito, otros fondos que le ayudó, por ejemplo, un tío o algo, ¿no? Aquí es diferente, es la segunda página. Aquí quiere enseñar usted lo que ya ha pagado, los gastos que ya ha invertido usted, quiere enseñar que ha invertido en forma de fondos en su negocio. ¿Okay? ¿Por qué? Porque la gente está analizando a ver si usted ya ha invertido fondos en su negocio, aparte de tiempo que ha invertido. ¿Ok? Por eso tenemos aquí, ponga compras de mercancía, si ya compró mercancía, que es el saldo. Si tiene capital, aquí capital quiero que lo piensen en forma de equipo o maquinaria. Suministros de limpieza, aquí lo que estamos pensando son si gastó dinero en cosas de limpiar, si por ejemplo unas máscaras y las vende, o vamos a decir usa una botella de limpiarse las manos, de lavarse las manos, lo que sea, puede poner los saldos aquí, especialmente si los va a vender, ¿no? Hay otros gastos, ¿ok? Entonces efectivo a pagar. Y ahora lo que sigue es el flujo de efectivo. Okay. Next. Okay, so here's the cash flow that I've been speaking about, and I wanted to share with you that it is a 6-month projection, basically, where what you want to do is project out beginning the month that you start the business, if you are in fact starting up business. If you already have a business, it may be that you are considering another project. I shared with I think I shared with you folks earlier in the presentation that as a consultant in New Mexico, I'm currently working with a business owner who's already opened 2 franchises selling food, and he's looking to open a 3rd. So I've been called in to help structure that particular loan. And at issue then is on this 3rd one, what are going to be his future sales? So since we're already in August and he's looking to probably start in September, this would begin September, followed by October, November, December, January, February. And he would project out on this 3rd location, right? He's going to project out what his cash receipts are going to be. Then he's going to project out, besides that, what his collections of receivables. Now, it's a food type business. It's a retail establishment where folks will come in, sit down, or order takeout, right? Which will be interesting because it looks like with COVID picking up, we may be going back to capacity limits on folks that can come into his business. So he may be doing more takeout where he sells on a takeout basis. So cash sales, that's all is under cash sales, okay, for him. Then loaner line of credit. He already has some existing loans, so he has to account for the monthly payments. So he'll be accounting for them. Remember, he's starting in September. So in September, what's his payment on those existing loans and lines of credit? On through February and so on for those months that will follow. And then the total cash receipts are here, okay? And so in this case, we're looking at total cash receipts. If we would continue this cash flow on further, we would do the same thing for expenses. That is to say, list all the expenses that apply, okay? En español, entonces, flujo de efectivo, aquí lo preparé para 6 meses, para que vean que no es difícil. Es nada más si se siente mejor con lápiz o con pluma, sáquenlo con un pedazo de papel y empiece con los meses y ponga los meses arriba. Como yo estoy enseñando febrero, usted puede poner septiembre. Esos meses pueden cambiar, ¿no? Claro, depende de cuándo empieza su negocio. Si es en octubre, empieza con octubre. Si tiene un negocio ya que existe y usted quiere entonces dinero para un proyecto nuevo, entonces lo que puede poner aquí es el proyecto, el flujo de efectivo, proyectando en ese proyecto cuando lo va a empezar. Si es septiembre, octubre, noviembre y sigue así. ¿Por qué es importante esto? Porque quiere enseñarle a usted a la gente que está haciendo préstamos, sea un banco, credit union, que sea prestamista alternativo o con el SBA, que usted analizó cómo se ve su negocio hoy y cómo se va a ver en 6 meses, mes por mes. ¿Ok? So, piénselo bien y les puedo decir muy claramente que van a impresionar. Si van así preparados, va a decir los funcionarios, mira, esta persona sí sabe lo que están haciendo. Nos puede enseñar aquí cómo está su negocio. Okay. Next. Okay, so a little bit of a light-hearted moment here as a part-time professor with a large community college, and as I said earlier, I taught entrepreneurship at the university level here in New Mexico also. And basically, this is what I always share with those folks, whether they're in business or whether they come to my class already in business. And I sort of remind them, I put it up on that board, on that whiteboard, and say, remember, do not love what you are, but what you can become. That's not to say you aren't a good person and you aren't happy with the person you are. But I'm trying to encourage people, if you're going to be a business person, think entrepreneurially and focus on what the future is going to be. You need to analyze how you're going to make things happen in a positive way. Okay. What can you become? Okay. No ames lo que eras, sino lo que puedes llegar a ser. Aquí la idea es que quiero que piensen de su negocio en forma de cómo lo van a crecer. Piensen de de qué quieren hacer en unos 6 meses, qué quieren hacer en un año, en 2 años. Muchas veces yo hablo con gente que habla español cuando hago presentaciones con la Cámara de Comercio o presentaciones en la universidad o con grupos en la comunidad. Y me dicen, pues sí, naturalmente estamos haciendo esta lucha para tener buen éxito en el futuro. Entonces les digo, bueno, quiero que piensen en forma de meses y años. Piensen en 6 meses, ¿no? ¿Dónde espera quedar usted en 6 meses? ¿Dónde espera llegar usted con su negocio en un año? ¿Cómo espera llegar en 2 años? ¿Ok? Entonces piensa en lo futuro. ¿Ok? Así es como trabajan los negocios y así es como se quieren presentar cuando anda pidiendo fondos. ¿Ok? Es algo que quieren saber naturalmente porque la gente que hace préstamos quieren saber que en el futuro les puedes pagar, ¿no? Si no les puedes pagar, entonces ¿por qué van a invertir fondos en quieres para tu negocio? No, muy importante. Miguel de Cervantes, muchos años dijo esto. ¿Ok? Next. Okay, the second area is basically business sustainability. Remember what I was saying early on. It's not enough to present yourself and say, I need a business loan in this amount because, either I need it for operating capital or I need to buy some equipment or I need it because I need to do some improvements to my building. They're called leasehold improvements, right? But here what you want to do is you want to think in terms of these 5 things, okay? Whether you're a startup or where you're growing a business, okay? And it's always good to come and reflect on them. I think it's a good exercise. One is you don't need a new idea to start a business. You don't need a new idea to start a new project. What you need to do is you need to be clear on what you're going to do. I'm going to say that again. You need to be clear on what you want to do. And that's very important, okay? It's not how long a business plan is. Later on in 4, I'm talking about a business plan, but it's where you clear and concise what you want to do, and did you put it there? In banking, when I was in banking as a commercial lender, we had an interesting saying, and I think it continues today from those bankers that I've talked to. And when they would say a real fancy Excel spreadsheet come in with fancy numbers, they would look at each other and say, is this blue sky? And blue sky to them meant that whoever presented it to them is showing a beautiful picture of what they hope the business to be without having analyzed the trends that may occur in their industry or the basis for projecting the numbers. So remember, doesn't need a new idea, doesn't need to be a long 20-page plan. You don't need a lot of money. Start small and show that people want your product. Okay, I work with many small business startups, and they start small and then they start growing the business, and not until they're making money and they need to expand and hire employees that they start thinking of more money. Okay, clearly you want to have some experience and training of what you're trying to do. If not, it's scary. Business is hard. If you're not aware of what it's going to take, go get some training, talk to other business owners, okay? And take some classes. There's a lot of classes out there at whatever level you need. And please don't think of buying a building early on. What you want to do is use those funds that you need to inject into your business to have your business pay its bills, okay? To pay your employees, to pay whatever loans you have outstanding, buy inventory. This is not the time to be buying a building, okay? At least not for most businesses, and especially not startups. Bueno, en español esto es en breve 5 cosas. Número 1, no se necesita una idea completa nueva para empezar su negocio. Es lo que hay que estar claro qué va a hacer usted, okay? Aparte de eso, es que no necesita mucho dinero. Es que está claro en su idea y enseñar que sí quiere los clientes su producto, sí lo quieren comprar. ¿Okay? También aparte de eso, tiene experiencia, entrenamiento, si no, tomen unas clases. Tomen unas clases en el colegio comunidad de emprendedor o con la universidad de emprendedor. Todos ellos tienen clases que pueden tomar ustedes. Si no tiene experiencia o entrenamiento, trate posiblemente trabajar con alguien que ya tiene un negocio para que dar experiencia de qué va a tener que hacer usted ya cuando tenga su negocio. Y entrenamiento, pues hay mucho. Puede usted tomar clases, puede ir al YouTube, ver los videos, porque aprender. El plan de negocio, esto es lo importante. Unas 2 o 3 páginas que sea claramente lo que quiere hacer. Y si va a tomar o quiere un préstamo, entonces haga un flujo de efectivo, como les enseñé anteriormente, ¿no? Cómo va a estar proyectando en el futuro, qué van a ser las ventas, qué van a ser los gastos, cómo va a pagar el préstamo. Eso es lo que vale. Vale mucho más que 20 páginas. Y por favor, quiero decirles esto, que tomen en cuenta que no es buena idea pedir fondos para comprar edificio. Ahorita en este tiempo, lo que es importante es enséñele a la gente que son funcionarios cuando se presenta por un crédito. Enséñales que usted quiere fondos para pagar los gastos de operar, para algo que le va a ayudar durante este tiempo de COVID-19. ¿Ok? Eso es muy importante. Ya después que se termina todo esto, tiene buen éxito usted, piense en el edificio. ¿Ok? Next. Okay, here briefly, it's growth, growth, growth. Even though we're in COVID, be thinking of what innovative paths you can take to grow your business. To do that, you want to assess whether you're well prepared to be an entrepreneur. If not, what a better time to take a workshop, take a class, and go learn the other side of the written side. They can help you with the written side, or they can help you with numbers to prepare you as an entrepreneur, or go work for an entrepreneur. Go talk with entrepreneurs. And what are your attitudes about money and prosperity? Entrepreneurs that are successful, many of them, when they're interviewed, say, look, I was very frugal when I started my business. It wasn't until later that I started getting the things I want. Okay, so frugal means that I watch my money. I watch every penny and make sure I use it wisely. And get familiar with that mindset. If you want to be a business owner, an entrepreneur, think like that. Okay, and much literature online at YouTube, much books are available at bookstores. Read up and get prepared. En español aquí se quieren presentar ustedes como van a crecer su negocio. ¿Ok? Y eso es que pueden evaluar si están preparados. Si no están preparados para ser emprendedor, prepárense. Este es buen tiempo. Hablen con emprendedores. ¿Ok? Tomen clases en el colegio, en la universidad. Todas esas cosas pueden hacer. Usted por su cuenta lo puede hacer. ¿Y qué son sus actitudes a dinero y prosperidad? Si cada vez que consigue dinero lo gasta todo, hay que pensar si quieren ser emprendedores. Eso no es buena actitud. Una buena actitud de alguien que es emprendedor, que quiere crecer el negocio, es de pensar qué se necesita el negocio, saber la diferencia, qué necesita y qué quiero. ¿Qué? 2 palabras. ¿Qué necesito? ¿Qué quiero? Lo que necesito y necesita el negocio es lo que debe de pensar usted, no lo que quiere. Eso se puede esperar. ¿Okay? Palmearse con la mentalidad emprendedora, eso existen muchos libros y puede tomar clases y entender mejor cómo emprendedores que tienen buen éxito, cómo piensan ellos. ¿Okay? Entonces depende. Usted está en sus manos. ¿Qué quiere hacer? Si quiere crecer y tener buen éxito, estas son las cosas que le recomiendo, ¿no? Next. Okay, resilience. That real briefly, resilience is simply don't quit. Okay, Thomas Edison said the surest way to succeed is always try one more time. Okay, so don't quit. Don't give up easily. Look for solutions. Learn to be a problem solver. Aquí en español es que no se den por vencidos. Aprenden a ser alguien que si ves un problema, usted va entonces a resolver ese problema. ¿Ok? Y porque hay muchos problemas en siendo emprendedor, ¿ok? Hay muchos problemas que va a encontrar usted. Es nada más de resolver. ¿Ok? Next. Okay, so here we are in the third part, which is really important. I think our time is we're right on time in talking about this in a way that that will help you understand why this is an important part of this workshop. Because there is, okay, a process to get funds from banks, credit unions, alternative lenders, and SBA. And those are the things I've been trying to prepare you for with the material I shared earlier on. And that comes to you with over 25 years experience in lending, which I've done, in business lending, in consulting small businesses, which I do, and having the business training in school to be able to talk with you this way. And so banks, credit unions, alternative lenders, and SBA, that's what we'll be looking at. Los bancos, los cooperativos de crédito, prestamistas, alternativos de SBA. Estos son en realidad los que están participando durante COVID-19 y cuando no está COVID-19. La gente con que usted va a ir a pedir fondos para su negocio. Okay, entonces voy a hablar en breve qué son cada uno, cómo piensan ellos. Okay, all right, next. Okay, so let's look at banks and some credit unions in New Mexico that have historically, and I would say to this, you have a very good choice in New Mexico. There are a lot of good banks. Some are national banks, some are community lenders. They're throughout New Mexico. If you want a list, go to SBA.gov and you can see a lot of banks that they would recommend to you. They work with. Credit unions, there are a lot of credit unions. Historically, they made strictly personal loans, but now, for many years now, they make business loans and they're very good at it. So this is probably the time to share with you that always go in and get to know the individual in the bank or credit union. You know, it's always, as I would tell my students when I was teaching entrepreneurship, of all the forms of communication, the most powerful is person to person. You can send emails, okay? You can send letters, but the most powerful is when you go up and you say, I am Marvin Lozano. I am owner of a business. I want to know you a little bit better, at least who you are and what programs you offer, and I want you to know a little bit about my business. And you see how easy that is? And that prepares you for future requests that you may make, okay? The Paycheck Protections Program, I was sharing a little earlier with someone that I had a real good conversation regarding this program with the senior vice president here in New Mexico at a large bank, a fairly large bank in Mexico. And they shared to me that they, in fact, when clients of theirs that took out a paycheck protection funding, that the bank are the ones that review whether it'll be forgiven or whether it will become a loan and then pass on the recommendations to SBA. So be aware that many folks thought here it automatically gets forgiven. And this is why, again, I encourage you to get to know your bankers, okay? So you can go in and let them know what you're doing. Aquí entonces la idea es entender los bancos y entender los credit unions, como decimos, crédito en Nuevo México, uniones de crédito en Nuevo México. Y es para decir que todos ellos hacen préstamos, ¿ok? Pero no todos participaron en el PPP, programa de protección de cheques de pago. Si usted ya tomó una forma de ayuda de PPP, vaya con su banquero o vaya con su representante en el credit union y dígale, mira, y este soy yo, este es mi negocio, ¿qué son los requisitos? Porque no quiero que me convierten a préstamo la ayuda que me quiero. ¿Okay? Quiero que la traten en forma de beca, ¿no? Entonces, eso es como quiere ver esto. ¿Okay? Entonces, y preséntense, que lo conozcan a ustedes, a usted es el propietario, qué forma de negocio tiene y que le va bien y así se van conociendo. ¿Okay? El más fuerte poder de comunicar es gente a gente. Okay, muy importante. Next. Okay, so here, what are alternative community lenders? Lots of folks say, well, geez, I don't know what that is. So I encourage you to Google alternative community lenders. There are many in New Mexico. They are nonprofits for the most part that are here to help small business startups and those that exist. So just 3 of the programs are loans and line of credits that were implemented during COVID-19. The reason those are important is because they're charging you right now a credit interest rate of 3.75, unheard of during times. If you check the Wall Street Journal best prime rate across the country to strong large companies, the prime rate is 3.25. So you're almost getting a prime rate right now. And so be aware it is a good interest rate. They also do microloans and SBA 504 programs in some instance. So those all depend on your business. Okay, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on those other than to tell you alternative lenders are there when a bank, commercial lender, may not be able to help you kind of loan. So find out who they are, make some inquiries. Okay. Aquí la cosa es que entiendan que existan también prestamistas alternativos aparte de los bancos. Muchas veces lo que pasa es la gente piensa que nomás bancos hacen préstamos a negocios. Pero aquí les tengo ejemplos. Durante COVID-19, estos préstamos alternativos que existen aquí en Nuevo México, y vayan a Google para aprender quiénes son. Aquí pueden leer de ellos y cómo les ayudan con préstamos de negocio. Hacen líneas y préstamos, especialmente los intereses están muy bajos. Algunos de ellos participan con los programas de SBA, por eso los puse aquí también. Pero vayan a revisar en Google y así no tienen que entrar a la oficina. Vean de qué se tratan y síganle. Nomás ponga Alternative Community Lender, prestamistas alternativos en español. Y así va a ver de qué se trata. Okay. Next. Okay. Okay, so here we are, SBA.gov, and Leslie's going to help us by going to that website because it's very easy to get to. Just enter SBA.gov. Si en español pongan sba.gov, que SBA.gov, y pueden ver que está en español. This is also in English, by the way. We're showing you that this is not dependent on one language or another. If you're stronger in English, read it in English. If you're stronger as a speaker in Spanish, you can see that it's in Spanish. Okay, so in Spanish, it's Programa de Protección de Pago. Eso es el programa de PPP. Aquí pueden leer de cómo se puede, los detalles, ¿no? Ahí como dice leer más. ¿Qué son los detalles de este programa? Ahora que se están olvidando o los bancos están diciendo, bueno, vamos a ver si no tiene que hacer pagos, no lo vamos a convertir a préstamo. Aquí puede leer usted qué son sus derechos. So what I say in Spanish is, go in here and read about the PPP program. SBA has a wonderful detailed description of what it is. And if you've got funds under PPP, and a lot of small businesses do, what you need to be doing now is finding out whether you qualify for forgiveness. And what we know has happened is you go to the bank and the bank will make a recommendation, okay? And so lots of information in Spanish and in English here for you to navigate. Okay, in Spanish, this is como ayudamos a las pequeñas empresas. Basically, it's how does SBA help small businesses? That's what that means. Okay, and then another thing SBA is they have a guaranteed loan program. It's called the 7A program that is always out there. If you need a large loan during good times, you can access fundings, but that's driven by the commercial lenders and the alternative lenders. But you can always call the SBA office. They're online. Talk to one of their officers and learn more about it. Okay. So there are also disaster loan programs at the very top. I'll give Leslie time to scroll to the top. It's called the EIDL program. And the EIDL program are basically disaster loans. Right now, they would apply, wouldn't they? We're basically in that type of and these are loans. You see in Spanish, but they're also in English. that there's details on how the loan is. In Spanish, a loan is called préstamo. That's why you see este préstamo. They're saying this loan. Okay, and basically it's saying in Spanish that they are for businesses, small businesses that need some kind of loan. And these, it gives you the details. That's what detalles de préstamo means. The solicitero aquí means here's where you apply. But this is also in English. You don't have to become a Spanish speaker if you are strong as an English speaker. You'll find all this in English. And the details are here. Can you stop right there, Leslie? If you can see there, I just wanted you to focus. Remember I was talking about interest rates? So you can kind of see what their interest rates are. It says términos, that means terms. And they have 3.75% para negocios fijo. That means a fixed rate interest loan is 3.75% under this program. And then below that, it's 2.75%. And that says for organizations that want a flexible type of loan, okay? And so it's a good program. En español, aquí ven los tipos de intereses. 3.75 para negocios que dicen, ¿sabes qué? Quiero pagar fijo. No quiero un préstamo que es flexible. Y 2.75 para organizaciones sin fines de lucro, ¿ok? Es algo diferente, pero ellos te explican los detalles. Okay. All right, so the very last thing I guess I wanted to share for you, that we don't see it here, but if you're a restaurant, I'd like you to be aware of the bottom link that's on this slide, and that's at SBA, and that's entitled Relief Options for Restaurant Revitalization Fund. Restaurant, there's a special program for you, and it'll be around for another, at least another year, I'm sure, for you to check into. Si usted tiene restaurante, quiero que sepan que también pueden tomar información de los restaurantes. Es un programa especial con el SBA, no tienen información en español. Usted puede ir aquí y puede leer más acerca de ese programa. Okay. Okay, Leslie, I think that's it for me on this part.
Okay, great. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to remind everyone that we have a whole series of webinars. We'll have Dr. Marvin Lozano for a little bit longer. So if you have any questions, bring them back in. We will send a copy of the slides, this presentation to you. We also have our local service centers available, so we can find you someone in your local area to help you navigate through all phases of your small business. So with all that, Dr. Lozano, do you have any wrap up before we pop off?
I just thank you for asking that, Leslie. Sometimes we don't have enough time to do today. And that's, I want to encourage all of you to take some of these other workshops. As Leslie says, they're very helpful. And see your SBDC office. They're located throughout New Mexico. Very skilled advisors there to help you with preparation of plans. And many times they connect you with your banker. They know those campers in the community better than anybody. And that's why, well, I'll say it in Spanish for those that maybe don't know. Si habla español usted, tome la ayuda del SBDC. Hay muchas oficinas en el estado de Nuevo México y llamen, pregunten por ayuda. Ellos conocen los funcionarios en los bancos muy bien y les pueden asistir. So just a plug there.
Thank you as always, Dr. Lozano, and thanks everyone. We will see you next time, and you guys have a great rest of your week. Bye.